people, game week 27 was chaotic. So Arsenal played a midweek game, and in this match they went 2-0 up and still dropped points. Chelsea on the other hand were playing them, they still dropped points. Liverpool clearly needed a 97 minutes so bad. Manchester City were very grateful to league leaders for dropping points, and then still Arsenal came back and destroyed Spurs 4-1 to extend their lead at top of the table in this same game week. But if you love the run-ins, if you love like the pressure that comes with the title race, this is your weekend. You certainly don't want to miss this episode, so sit tight and watch. Welcome back to Match Day Minus Monday. Before we break it down, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get down into how all of the matches unfolded this game week. So the first match, that was a midweek game that happened, was between Wolves and Arsenal, and this match ended in a 2-2 draw for both clubs. Arsenal went to Wolves' home, and like I said initially, they went 2-0 up. And honestly, it looks like they were done. They had won the match. Saka was playing a more central role, and he was wearing the armband as per captain. He scored early a header. Then Nkappi made it 2-0 in the second half. Arsenal fans were already calculating their 7 points lead. They were excited that they had gone 7 points clear. But Wolves, they slowly grew into the game, and then Bueno called in a very beautiful goal to make it 2-1. Then stoppage time, that was the last moment of the match. There was chaos inside the box, and it was the Edozie, the 19-year-old, that scores the second goal, gets the equalizer for Wolves, making it 2-2. This is really funny because how do you go from a comfortable lead to, what I call it, crisis in few minutes? Now, this is 2 massive points dropped in this title race for Arsenal, and that one really hurt their fans badly. An Arsenal fan even said to me that it felt like an A-list student debating a typical Olodo and losing to them. Like, how do you let number 1 top of the table lose to the 20th on the table? And it was just really funny. If you've gotten to this part, don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, and let's move on. The next match on our list is Chelsea versus Burnley. This match also ended in a draw, but this was not a midweek game. It happened this weekend. Don't forget, I'm talking about the Big 6 matches. Now, Chelsea, I don't even know where to start from. And even Chelsea players don't even know where to start from, honestly. Now, Chelsea scored inside 4 minutes of the match. Joao Pedro, he scored from a very close range. Stamford Bridge, they were already feeling like they were going to have like an easy afternoon. But after that, they just went flat. Meanwhile, Burnley, on the other hand, they tried. They stayed sort of compact. They played low block for most part, and it really frustrated Chelsea. And then for Fanda, in the 72nd minute of the match, he got the second yellow and he was sent off. Now, Chelsea, they were down to 10 men. And Burnley smelt blood. They knew that this was their chance. Now, last minute of the game, it was a corner kick and it was a porous delivery, and then Fleming was there to put it in, making it 1-1 and still drop points. That was like 2 big clubs losing when it mattered the most. And guess what? The 2 of them are London clubs, Chelsea and Arsenal. If you've gotten to this point, don't forget to like, hit the subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you feel? Could Chelsea have done better, or Burnley just had what it took to draw the match? Moving on is Man City Newcastle. Match ended in a 2-1 win for City. And you guys, there's Manchester City. Arsenal dropped points midweek, and then City were very, very grateful to them. Like, thank you for dropping points. Now, O'Reilly was just the guy. He opened the scoring with a very powerful strike, and then Newcastle equalized through Lewis Hall. I think it was like a slight deflection. But Manchester City at this point did not panic. That's the mentality Roger always speaks about. Now, Haaland was one that sent in a cross, and then O'Reilly was there again to head it into the back of the net. Haaland in this particular match was very, very dangerous and deadly. He didn't score, but he had so much impact. Now in the second half, they were calm and they managed the game really well. City did what typical champions would do now. They capitalized on Arsenal's points that they had dropped, and then they ensured that they saw this game through to the very end, and then they grabbed all 3 points at the Etihad, and they are just 2 points behind. Okay, they are 5 points behind Arsenal, but they have a game in hand. Because to this point, hit the subscribe button, like and share. Moving on to Liverpool Forest. Liverpool won Forest 1-0. Liverpool said they don't want to do like the normal wins. They waited until the very last minute to actually win. The crazy thing was Forest were better in the first half of the match, and then Allister was there, was just making really big saves. McAllister even had like one of his goals ruled out earlier, and then their frustration just kept on building. But they were able to pull something out of this match. Boom, in the 97th minute of the match, Van Dijk's header was what saved them, and then the rebound, it fell to McAllister, and then reacted and then sliced it into the back of the net. And Liverpool fans are finally grateful that at least with this one last minute win, they get something to take home. All 3 points in the race for the European spots. Like, everybody wants to play the Champions League, so they finally have something. Congratulations, Liverpool, for the last minute win. Like again, subscribe and share. Moving on is Arsenal Tottenham. The North London derby. This match ended in the form for Arsenal. Now, this is what will I call a very interesting response, because after what happened with Wolves, Arsenal just had to react, and they reacted by smashing Spurs forward. It just enjoyed scoring against Spurs. It was the one that opened the scoring for Arsenal, and then Spurs equalized quickly after the mistake. But then the second half again, Gyokeres, he scored a very sweet goal. He turned that both goal, and then Eze scores again, and then Gyokores scores again. So it was not like 2 goals for Eze, 2 goals for Gyokores. They both scored brace to make it 4-1. It's not London derby, so clearly not London in red. And I think that is certainly how you respond when you're under pressure. Not like how they just acted like cowards. Sorry if I use the wrong word against Wolves, but this is how you react when you're under pressure. You hold out and then you leave with something. Now let's look at other matches. That played out. We had Aston Villa Leeds ended in a 1-1. On Villa's score sheet, it was Tammy Abraham. And then for Leeds, the score first was Anton Starch that scored in the 31st minute of the match. And then Brentford hosted Brighton. Brentford lost to Brighton at home 0-2. On Brighton's score sheet, Diego Gomez and Danny Welbeck that scored the winning goals of the match. And then West Ham hosted Bournemouth. The match ended in a 0-0 draw, goalless match. Then Crystal Palace hosted Wolves 1-0. It was Goshen that scored in 90th minute of the match. And then Wolves got a red card. Then Sunderland Fulham. Ever since Sunderland lost to Liverpool, Stadium of Light has turned to Stadium of Darkness. So because how did they lose to Fulham at home? 3-1. Sunderland won, Fulham 3. On Fulham's score sheet, we have Jiménez who scored a brace, and then Alex Iwobi. And that is all I have for you. Everton plays Manchester United on Monday by 9 p.m. So let's talk about this match with 27. Late goals everywhere. Arsenal and Chelsea dropping points from certain positions, and then City looking like they've been the most composed team so far. And then I don't know why they had to. I don't know because of the Carabao Cup, but Arsenal had to play like 2 matches. I don't know, but they drew one, and then they won big in one. They decided they had the goal difference too from City. So what was this match week's performance about? Because me, I feel like it's more about the mentality. Some teams, they don't have what it takes. They cannot stand pressure. I think that is what Manchester City has over so many Premier League clubs. When it comes to run-ins like this, their mentality is out of this world. And Arsenal would really need to, I don't know, they'll have to know how to endure or stand pressure to win the league. They continue like this, every single time they concede, they start. Also, there was even like, I forgot to mention, in Arsenal's match, they cancelled, what's his name? They cancelled his goal. I don't know, if that goal had stood, I feel like it would have changed the trajectory, the dynamics of the match. Arsenal would have gotten scared. And who knows? Imagine they scored 2-2 before Gyokores or Eze scored the other goal. Would have just crumbled, and would have lost the game, saying we lost to Wolves. But I want to have your opinions, like in the comment section. Did Arsenal lose control of the title race this midweek? Do you feel like they've lost to Manchester City? Are City now the favourite to win the league? And what is actually going on with Chelsea? Chelsea fans, let me know. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the Football Forum, and I'll see you next week for more Match Day Madness Monday. Have a lovely time.